to military role. Let's get more now on our top story. And U.S. Special Forces capturing suspected al-Qaeda leader Anas al-Libi in the Libyan capital, Tripoli. Joining us now is Barak Seener. He's an associate fellow at the Royal United Services Institute. He's live from London. Thank you very much for being on this news hour. First of all, is al-Libi's arrest an important victory for the Americans? Was he still a big fish within al-Qaeda?
Anas al-Libi has been on the United States most wanted terrorist list since the aftermath of 9/11. So that's a huge coup for the United States. Secondly, the United States has demonstrated that it has the capacity and scope to target al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, but also in places like Libya and Somalia and Yemen, all at the same time. So it will instill a degree of fear for al-Qaeda, and it also hones in the message that there are repercussions for joining al-Qaeda, especially at a time that al-Qaeda is expanding both with its affiliates and its franchises, to the extent that they can attract more than 100,000 recruits from across the Islamic world.
Yes, we heard the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry say that the operations in Libya and Somalia showed that the U.S. would never stop in its effort to hold those accountable who conduct acts of terror, he said. As you say, we often hear about Afghanistan and Pakistan and the drone attacks there, but how extensive has the U.S. fight against extremists been in this particular region of the world, in the East Africa region?
There's been a vacuum of governance after the ouster of Gaddafi. What's happened is that the country is fraught with conflict and splits between tribal and regional lines, which it can be exploited by Islamists. So al-Qaeda sees this as a great swamp where it can attract further recruits and serve as a launching pad for attacks against the West. When it comes to al-Qaeda, the Obama administration has really drawn a red line. When it comes to other Islamists, the United States is more willing to co-opt and engage with them. But with al-Qaeda, it really is a red line. So the United States will expend all its resources and energies to target al-Qaeda across the globe. And now that North Africa and West Africa have become a greater pool for recruiting Islamists, the United States is going to have to turn its attention towards that, and it's demonstrated that it's already done so very swiftly.
Right, and you have warships from the U.S., Britain and France that are permanently based off the Somali coast, and you've got a big base in Djibouti as well. So how often do you think these attacks, these raids happen?
This raid was conducted with the consent of the Libyan government. As the United States intelligence capacity increases in these regions, which is already rather extensive, we should anticipate to see it as frequently as we've seen it in Pakistan, in order to relay the message to Islamists that it does not pay to become a part of al-Qaeda, and while becoming a part of al-Qaeda gives al-Qaeda tremendous capacity, scope and credibility in the Islamic world, it still demonstrates that if you get on the wanted list, there's a great chance that you're going to be assassinated for it.
Right. Barak Seener, thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us. Barak Seener is with the Royal United Services Institute. He was live from London. Thanks for your time.